Let's discuss some different painting techniques and some different lesson ideas. Here are some of the brushes that I ordered for my art classroom. There are flats and rounds. There's lots of other types of brushes, but I found for an elementary classroom, different sizes of these brushes are just fine. So a flat brush is exactly what it sounds like. It is flat, and you can hold it this way, or you can hold it the flatter way. I like to demonstrate to students what the brushes will do so that when they have a brush in their hands, they can try it too. Round brushes have rounded tips. They are great for wavy lines. I like to show my students how this round brush, if you pounce it on the page, can make an interesting textured effect. One thing I do always mention to students is pick the right brush for the job. If you have a little tiny space, like these little circles that I'm filling in right now, use a small brush. I know it sounds silly, but I've had lots of students try to do this with a very large brush and get very frustrated. The other thing is, what if they're painting in a really large area? Oh, I just can't get this to fill in, Mrs. T. I just can't do it. Yeah, well, maybe you could use a larger brush, and that would be a little bit easier. They can also add a little bit of water to the paint if it's very thick so that they can fill in that big space. Going over these few little tips really does help your students. Preparing and distributing art supplies for distance learning is a challenge. I saw that some teachers I was following online were making paint palettes for their students by drying the paint on a paper plate or a piece of cardboard. So I squirted these out the other day, and they're entirely dry, still stuck to the plate, but a little bit cracked. I wanted to check this out and see if it's really going to work. If I add some water, will it really reconstitute into paint? So let's try it out. I did notice that I needed to wet it a couple of times for the paint to start to flow, but it actually works. And here's the side-by-side test. Sped this up a little bit in case you hadn't noticed. The top plate and paints are the dried paints on the plate, and the ones on the bottom are the fresh ones. So you'll see that with a little bit of water and a little bit of work, you can get pretty bright colors with the dried tempera. So this may be a solution for you if you are distance learning. Can art and painting help a student with their behavior? Yes, it really can. This student literally fell in love with mixing paints and painting. And honestly, it changed his attitude in art class and in every other class that he had at school. It was exciting to see that he was so interested. I would use him to demonstrate different things because he was just so excited. He literally could not sit in his seat long enough for me to do a demo. You might have already noticed that for the primary colors, I've been using yellow with magenta and turquoise instead of red and blue. The regular red and blue are dark and pretty hard to mix. These work better. For mixing tints of a color with white and shades with black, I give each student their own little piece of an egg carton. This way, they can mix all the tints and the shades by themselves. If you'd like students to create warm colors, I'm pretty convinced that you really don't even have to buy any orange paint. Students can mix their own as they have here. Analogous colors are groups of 3 colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. These 4th grade students created their own intermediate colors, which are formed by mixing a primary with a secondary. You can use tempera with other mediums. These 2nd grade vases were made with collage, drawing, and tempera paint. Tempera paint really can be used on so many surfaces. These students are painting Louise Nevelson-inspired wood designs. Liquid tempera is great on clay. Students can paint with their favorite colors using many different techniques, and then put a coat of Mod Podge on the top. Oh, and here's one more tip I forgot to mention. Q-tips are great for small spaces and eyes and dots.